Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher and this is Sweetwater's iOS update. This time out on the update, I've got a digital microphone, I've got a synthesizer, and I've got a tech tip that'll make your iOS device more readable. Let's dive in. Wisdom Music is an app development company founded by Jordan Rudess, the keyboard player from Dream Theater and other bands. One of the latest apps from Wisdom Music is Geo Synthesizer, which you heard me playing during the intro there. Geo Synthesizer is an incredibly deep synthesis application that runs on the iPad. It gives you a unique control surface, and the best part about it is not only do you get great sounds inside the iPad itself, you can also, through MIDI, control external synthesizers. Now, Geo Synthesizer is set up somewhat like a guitar, actually. If you think of each of these lines as a string and the notes on those strings, you can play through. You can change the octave, you can lock the pitch so that as you play each note, it hits firmly on the pitch, or you can also unlock the pitch, which allows you to add vibrato, do bends, and those sorts of things. You also have a whammy bar, and you can do a variety of other things from a performance standpoint as well. You have micro tunings here, you can have a monophonic synth, a polysynth, you can have a legato mode, lots of different things you can do with tuning, transposition, snapping to pitch, and we have other screens as well. These screens allow you to work more with the synthesizer side of things. The last screen allows us to configure the MIDI operation of the app so that we can determine what's being sent out to external synthesizers. This is also where we choose our presets. It comes with 40 presets that were selected by Jordan Rudess. So here we've got an electric violin. Now you can see with this preset we have a lot of strings here, a lot of threads that we can play on. And this allows us to do very complex things. So we can play chords, we can do things with both hands because the iPad is a multi-touch surface. If you're a guitar player, this is actually very comfortable to play on because it does resemble the way a guitar works. Depending on the preset you have loaded up, it's very easy to form chords. It's also easy to do arpeggios, easy to do scales if you want to do lead runs. It has an auto octave mode that will allow you to quickly play very fast from low to high. So a lot of things you can do here from a performance standpoint that as a guitar player already used to fretting notes, it comes to you very quickly. Now it should be noted that this is a performance synth. It's meant that you sit down and play it, so it's not a recorder. It doesn't record your performance. Rather, you'd need to route your audio out into another recorder to capture it. However, you can also use it as a MIDI controller for another app that's running inside the same iOS device. I've had a lot of fun working with GeoSynth. You can dive right in quickly, turn it on, and start pressing the buttons and you'll be making music, but there's a lot of depth there too if you want to get into it. I highly recommend checking this app out. Our accessory this week is the Mikey Digital from Blue Microphones, a stereo microphone that connects to an iPad or an iPhone. The Mikey Digital is very simple. It has a 30-pin connector that goes right into your iOS device. On the back, it has a 3-position sensitivity switch, so you can set that to low, to high, or to auto. I leave it in auto most of the time, and that seems to work fine. It's on actually a swivel base, so you can tilt it back and forward as you have it on your iOS device for placement. Now, when you plug Mikey in, you get a green status light on the front. If you overload the microphone with too high a volume level, all 3 indicators will come on and show red. I've tried Mikey Digital with a variety of different apps, including Loopy HD, GarageBand, 4-track recorder. Here I've got it plugged into Aria, the 48-track recorder. Simply assign it as the input on the tracks, do some recording, and you can see it's coming in stereo here on 2 different tracks. Let's take Aria out of record, and now we'll pop over to the waveform display, and we can see that our 2 tracks were recorded there. Rewind. Simply assign it as the input on the tracks, do some recording, and you can see and our audio is there. Very simple, very fast. Now Mikey works great on the iPad, but it's really cool with an iPhone because it turns the iPhone into a great stereo mobile recorder. Whether you're recording rehearsals, you're at gigs, whatever you're doing, the mic sounds great, it's in stereo, pops right into your iPhone, very handy. Now Mikey has a great bonus feature as well. There's an 1/8" input jack on the top that you can connect to a guitar, to a keyboard, an MP3 player, and route signals into your iPad or your iPhone. Here I'm running through Amplitude. One last tip for you, Mikey Digital has the 30-pin connector and it's designed to go straight into the dock connector on your iOS device, but it will work with a 30-pin extender cable as well. So if you want to have a little bit more flexibility in placing the microphone, this is a great way to do it. I actually stumbled across our tech tip this week totally by accident. What would happen is I'd be working on my iPad and suddenly the colors would invert, and I could not figure out why this was happening. Eventually I did discover the reason, and it's because inside the settings there's an invert colors setting here. We can turn that on and off using the switch. Now if you go down below, there's a triple click home setting, and that affects what happens when you triple click on this button, and that's what I was accidentally doing. I was triple clicking instead of double clicking, and it was causing that invert colors switch to come up. You can actually assign a number of different functions to this. There's invert colors, as we saw there. There's also a zoom function that lets you make the screen larger. That's useful if you're farther away from your iPad or you're having a little difficulty reading something. In fact, you can also assign multiple functions to that switch, and when you do the triple click, you'll get a choice of which one you want to activate. Thanks for joining me for Sweetwater's iOS update. Be sure to tune in next time. We'll have more tech tips, we'll have more apps, and we'll have more hardware to help you make music with your iOS device. I'm Mitch Gallagher.